So I believe there's four types of strategy, uh, and I'm going to apologize up front. Most of the references that I have here are military references, not because I have a tremendous violent nature, but rather because I'm looking for ways to explain this that everyone can relate to, and everyone has seen a ton of action movies and everything else. So I'm going to use these analogies. The first type of strategy is a need-based strategies, where you have a very specific big need that is obvious, and you're looking for a tactic to just address that specific need. And I call that a close-range shotgun, because you know what it is, it's up close to you, and you just need to get rid of it. Next one is an innovation-driven strategy, and that's more for situations where you're doing something new. It's not necessarily new for the market, but new for you. So this is where you're innovating, and you are faced with making decisions that you don't know how to make. You don't have experience making. So it feels like a labyrinth maze. It's an exploratory process. Next one is an insight-driven strategy, and a lot of agencies use insight-driven strategy, and that's where you have a specific consumer insight that is guiding what you're trying to do. And in that case, it's something like a guided missile. You have a very specific way of addressing a problem, and it's whether your campaign or whether a specific solution is trying to address that problem surgically almost. The last one is research-driven strategy, and I use the analogy of a castle siege, not so much a Hollywood castle siege where you have great armies pounding the walls of a castle, but more of a historical castle siege where when you have armies trying to occupy an area and they look for weaknesses of a castle, whether it is water supply, food supply, whether it is secret entrance, and so they do research. They do that kind of work to find out what is the best way to enter the castle to take over from the inside. And each one of these needs different things, and each one of these are for different situations. But the first one, what you really need, if this is the strategy that you need, you have an obvious problem, you have a small budget, and you need a quick resolution. Well, you need a good shotgun and you need an experienced shooter. And if you have neither of these, you have to find them somewhere. A shotgun is a tactic, an experienced shooter is an experienced executioner in this case. For innovation-driven strategy, you need a guide, you need an experienced guide that's been through the process, that has made these choices, that know where they lead, that knows the maze. And you need patience. An exploratory process is a much longer process than a close-range shotgun. So you need patience for that. Next one is all depending on the insight. So what you need there is an accurate intelligence. And you need a precision missile to deliver that payload, because typically that campaign is a single-run campaign. Just like that missile is a specific, it's a single piece of weaponry that delivers that payload, and you don't necessarily have a chance to go back. It will either work or it will not. And the last one, what you really need is that research. In a research-driven strategy, you need to have research that you can trust on, and a team of specialists, whether they're like a commando team that enters the castle. Again, people you trust to execute whatever you want to do based on the research. So these are the four types of strategy.